there's more to life than actually seeing it as. I'm an island girl, I came from a very small island called Boracay, and just the minority to be from that island, and then just kind of being here now in Bali or being in Europe or anywhere else in the world. I didn't have any option. I was zero. I remember I had, oh my God, I think I had 1,000 quid in my bag. So when we find out that I got the job, he bought a champagne to celebrate, a pink Moët as well. I'm like, oh God, this is a lot. My God, I had Citibank and now I have JP Morgan in my champagne. Geez, like four biggest financial firm in the world. That's amazing. But I felt like it's not me because...
Today on the Creating Freedom podcast, we have Bella Foxx, right? She is an international model, writer, and a philanthropist. She's a stunning girl originally from Boracay, the Philippines, and like many, worked in a ton of different positions. For her, it was corporate positions, right? Working for some of the biggest financial institutions in the world, right? She was faced with signing a contract that would set her life up, right? With a huge salary, but decided not to sign on the dotted line, right? It's an incredible conversation about her evolving, growing as a person, and how she got to Bali, right? From one paradise in Boracay to Bali, right? That being said, let's just jump into it and let's hear her story.
Welcome to another podcast of Creating Freedom. Today we have the lovely guest. What's your name and where you from? Tell us about you.
Hey guys, my name is Bella Foxx. I am originally from the Philippines, which is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. And I'm born in Boracay Island and a background in the UK. And now we are in Bali. Down and gone.
Fantastic. Now, look, the podcast is called Creating Freedom, right? And one of the questions we always want to know is freedom, right? What's that mean to you, and what does that look like?
I love that word, to be honest, freedom, because then it entails a lot of things, whether it's yourself, your mindset, and where you are in the world, or if you're traveling. But I think ultimately freedom is something that beyond all of that, something that you feel inside you. Like when you feel like you're free from just anything, like you can be completely yourself. That's what I mean, like without any labels or American freedom. Because then people can give a lot of meaning what freedom is. Like freedom of, I can live anywhere in the world, or financial freedom, a lot of things. But I think what I'm trying to say is just more of like you're free flowing with life.
Yeah, so it's like, people can be location free, time free, financial free, but for you it's more, free to be yourself.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. So I think you mentioned that, you got a background in the Philippines, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Wow. I feel like I have the privilege to be brought up abroad, which is in the UK. During my formative, I was raised there and studied there. But at the same time, Philippines is also my home. That's where most of my family is. And I'm an island girl. I came from a very small island called Boracay, and just the minority to be from that island, and then just kind of being here now in Bali or being in Europe or anywhere else in the world. I feel very privileged to kind of have all of that within me, because then it just made me who I am now.
Yeah, and I guess like looking back when you were growing up, what did that look like? I guess, the people that watching, right, you'll see her Instagram. She's done a lot in her life, from
And still doing a lot.
I'm still doing a lot.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I think that's a long one on this one.
This is an extra long
bear
one.
with us.
Yeah, might be learning a lot. But...
tell us a little bit more about, who you are. Yeah. So let the people know a little bit about you. Who are you?
Okay, so who is Bella Foxx?
Who is Bella Foxx?
I feel like I have so many sides of me, but at the same time, they're all my sides that made me the person that I am now. And Bella is someone who have a big heart. I feel like the world deserves more love and kindness. And I feel like that starts with one person, that's how you move closer. But I am someone who do a lot of philanthropy work. Most of my free time I do that with humanitarian aid. I'm also a beauty queen. It's actually my first time to be a beauty queen, but I feel like when people say that, oh, you're a beauty queen, so, you're just going to be pretty and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
it goes
Like
more
what
skin
you want.
deep. Yeah. Beauty goes skin deep. And I feel like just being a beauty queen means that not only you become a role model, but you become a speaker to not only emphasize and like have a platform, but also to do something good for the world that you really stand for.
You've got you've done so much,
So
right?
much,
Like maybe, do you want to give us like a quick rundown of like the stages of that?
Yeah.
And now, who have you become now? Like just sort of like a quick snapshot of that, if you can.
Yeah.
And we'll dig deeper in.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'm born obviously in Boracay Island, which is very beautiful island in the Philippines. I grew up, most part of my growing up is in the Philippines, and formative years are in the UK, and I also worked in the UK, studied for quite a bit. And then through those years, I just kind of moved back and forth. And I'm not even saying that I did live in Germany as well and Switzerland. So I literally had so many growing up around the world, which is, answer your question, who is Bella Foxx? I think for me, I'm very worldly. I am a child of the world, I would say that. And everything that like philanthropy work, humanitarian work, and mainly I do logistics as well, which is not a lot of people would think, like when they look at me like she's supposed to be a model or something else. But I'm working in a logistic company, which is based in New York. So American hours, lovely hours.
And so that's what you're doing now, yeah? Yeah, that's what you're doing now.
It's difficult to balance everything, for sure. But that's when you really get to test it, what really matters to you the most. And actually, it makes you very good at scheduling.
So you lived in the Philippines from what age did you leave in the Philippines?
Like when I was 10, probably.
You left at 10, and then you went to England.
Yeah. And
that-
so then when I was like 23, 25, really, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you left. So you went. So you spent a lot of time in Boracay, and then you went to the UK at 25.
No, I left
10.
10, yeah.
And she was-
And it's
she was
just called go
25.
back and forth,
Right.
basically.
Okay.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. And then after 20, so I had to ask this question.
Yeah, these timelines.
How young are you?
I'm young. Oh my gosh, I have a screen
I'm not
age.
allowed to say how old.
No.
So as a nice gentleman, I'm saying, how young are you?
Oh my gosh, and not a lot of people knows this, but I can't do that for you guys. Sorry,
What's your date of birth?
Am I allowed to say that? I feel like a lot of people would say, and they're very like, what you mean? But people, I normally get like 22, 23, even 19 sometimes. Jesus. I mean, I guess I've done well for myself.
Asian genes.
Yeah, Asian genes all the way, 100%. But I'm 93, so you do the math.
93, okay, cool. I got that.
People can just do the math and be like,
Yeah.
comment section.
That's
Like,
the-
what
yeah.
is going on?
But, so, all right, so you was in England, you got to 25. What was your next step after that?
What now?
No, so that you was in England for 25. What was you doing in the last years of being in England? Yeah.
So actually, part of my background as well is I used to work for Citibank in Canary Wharf as a fraud analyst.
Actually, I can see you
So
one in
many
little
sides
scenes.
of me. Exactly. But I feel like, I mean, I also work in a French bakery called Paul, no promotion. I was an artisan pastry chef. So at one point, I know how to speak French, but not just like the basic, but they turned me into a pastry chef, basically. So I know how to make the pain au chocolat, beignet chocolat, palmier, gourmandise, moulin chocolat, mon amour.
Oh,
Merci beaucoup.
sounds good. So, like, we just
No.
I know, we can go like...
Yeah, we could get so. Yeah, so look, you know, you've done everything, right? Like and myself too, you try so many things, right? And, they all teach you something, a lesson. And, a lot of the lessons I learn is, no, I don't like that, right? So, you try, the more things you try, the more focused you are because you know what you don't want.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And
I feel like us humans, we should not have any limitations, to be honest.
That's right, because a tree grows to its full length. Us humans, we stop.
Yeah, and because life is constant transition, and it's in constant progress. And I feel like as who we are, humans, like we should always be out there discovering things that we want to do. We should be taking so much risk because through those risks, that's how you became so experienced, so big as a person. And I feel like, let me just say this, like the only thing that we're rushing towards is death. And honestly, the way how you would make your life influential is through how you expand through your journey.
100%. I mean, when I living my life, I always look at it as like, I look at my life like a book. Some books have a few chapters, and some have many chapters. And when I die, it's not about materialistic and all that stuff. I'm gonna be thinking about all the experiences I've had and all the things I've done and seen. So that's why I'm always trying to live my life crazy. It's like same thing as you. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. That. So I'm trying to live to my full potential. So I like that.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. Because then again, like you're constantly discovering who you are as a person. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to say to people when they ask for my knowledge or for my opinion that, yeah, I really 100% know myself through my deepest core. Because then again, I've done this series of things to not only test myself for who I am, but also to test my limits and my strengths. So that's how you become myself.
And did that come from, self-reflection or just, or did it come from like just man, a lot of different, hurdles and things that...
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like any work or any experiences, everything is trial and error. But just to be more personal about it, I spent half of last year in solitude, and I feel like I needed to be able to sit in quietness, because when you sit in quietness, the more you actually get to hear to yourself. And
was that your choice? You done that then?
Yes, 100%. I feel like I needed to do that for me to be able to enter a new chapter in my life where I could be so awake, so conscious, and I would never go back without it, to be honest.
Yeah. So to go into, I wanted to go deeper into maybe your pageant work, the things that you've done in there.
How did that start? That's a good question.
My pageantry stint.
What came first? The modeling, the pageant.
Yeah. So, okay, I would say this in cameras now because it's finished, but I had never had any intention actually to go into the pageantry. It never actually even dawned to me. And it started last year and people started to noticing me. And so, because I was a heavier girl, I was just looking after my health, because that's what my main purpose is, to just,
health is wealth.
Better, to just have a better relationship with food and all that stuff. But how it started is more of like, I'm doing a lot of philanthropy work and humanitarian work. And I feel like I only coming into the pageantry with no experience, but only with a dream, a vision. And that became my bullet to actually potentially win the crown.
Right.
And I feel like winning the pageant is more of like having a bigger platform for what I stand for my advocacy.
Right.
And I understand people are like, yeah, pageantry is always big with advocacy, but I've been doing that long before the pageantry world, because it's my passion. It's something that I just want to do for the world. And I traveled to even actually do that, and actually doing that now in Bali.
Yeah, and what does that look like?
I feel like I get to really meet a lot of different people in different backgrounds that just really share similar vision and mission for the world. Because seeing life through like lenses of gratitude I think the more you give out to the universe, the more you actually get something back in
100%.
return. And I really believe in that. People were just like, oh, that's cliche. But I'm speaking in my own experience, though, so nothing can actually.
No, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
You got to give to receive.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things, like, you know, I've got a Vietnamese background. When I go to Vietnam,
Yeah.
like I can see, you know, I'm from Australia.
Yeah.
Like you can see the stark contrast, and I just feel bad every time I go back. Not bad, but I'm grateful and I understand. Right? Do you have is that with your advocacy work as well? With your charitable stuff that you do?
Yeah. So I joined a pioneering NGO in the Philippines as well that I working with since 2018. And that NGO normally focus on the humanitarian field because I think everybody knows Philippines is like when there's like typhoon, hurricanes. We're literally the hardest hit country in the world.
the whole world,
It's absolutely crazy. And every year, each year, we get to have these biggest storms that ever recorded on Earth.
It would get worse and worse.
So worse and worse because Simon here, he lived in Philippines as well, right?
Yeah, we will definitely be talking about it later.
Yeah, we were gonna, but there's a lot of families, and normally we would have donation drive, and we have a lot of sponsors that would donate, and we would go to this hard-reach area. Like sometimes putting ourselves in a firing line of danger, and really putting ourselves out.
Because he would drive there on the certain routes and that, and because this damage has been done, that, you know, we don't know what's you know, things can just collapse from underneath you and stuff like that. So it's like, putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and people would be like, "What's the driving force beneath it? Like, who motivates the motivator?" But then again, well, isn't that what humanity is about? That's what I say to them, and they're just like, "Yeah," because then. What do you do to, I mean, even if you don't have anything, but then you should be grateful that your hands are working, your eyes is seeing, you're hearing, you have feeling. And that's what you want, that's what you can contribute to these people, kids, families. And that's the driving force, really. Act of kindness.
You know, you're doing that.
Yeah.
You know, you're also working for a logistics company in New York. So, you know, maybe tell me about, like, what's that like working for...
You juggle it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I feel like sometimes I live not sometimes really. I think most of the time I live a double life, to be honest. And I'm not going to change anything about it because then going back to what I said, there shouldn't be no limitation. You should be able to just do everything what you want. So I was working for a logistics company. This is actually the first ever remote job that I had during the pandemic. It's crazy. And you can just see how the workplace evolved since then. And with all respect, during pandemic, I've learned so much within myself. I mean, lucky enough, I didn't get sick or my family. And I thank Jesus for this, like thank God for that. But yeah, I was hired as a business development manager, which is, by the way, my boss just saw my LinkedIn profile and he was like, "Oh, you have a very interesting background." And bear in mind, I don't have any experience with logistics or let alone a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
And it's really daunting for me as a woman because then these are people that I'm talking to are founders, CEOs, president, superintendent. I had a big client in a...
which you can't say the name.
which I could not say.
But it's a very big name. It's so big, it's so big we have to cut it.
We had to cut that one. So as well, very well known in the tech industry. Big. I think they would have probably an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you go on. So the interesting thing, like, what did you have on your LinkedIn profile that attracted, you know, that gave you that opportunity, Ryan?
Beauty.
Work it.
No.
So what do I do? Mate, you can't do fuck all, mate. Unfortunately.
No, I feel like and the skill set. I think my mix of different vertical field is what attracted my boss. That he had that decision moment that I could train her to be this person for our company. And essentially, he was not wrong because then I became really good at the industry. I know how to read people in sense of what they do. I mean, profiling.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, you need to know not to waste time.
Yeah.
And because time is money, and you need to always have a critical thinking. And
what from your background, what did he see? Like, what were the jobs? Because I couldn't imagine.
My back is so dynamic.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say maybe just like the top 3, yeah, because I can see, Miss Philippines, Miss Universe, and then it was just like, and then it's like, data analyst, and then like it was just like the weirdest. Like I just don't understand.
I feel like the transition there, because I used to work for a company called, it's one of the biggest airline network in the world.
Okay.
And I was a travel executive for them. And because I always dream, I mean, I'd love to be a stewardess at the end of the day. I'd love to.
It was running my head when you first said. I was like,
I know, but it was not that. I had an opportunity, but I feel like I'm more like running through the brains in the show kind of thing. So that, and at the same time, because I used to work for Citibank, so he was like, oh, that's a really good resume. Because then for you to actually work with that company, you go through like a
rigorous process.
Diamond go through an extreme pressure to become a diamond. And I'm like, oh gosh, but I got through it and I love it because, wow, the things that they teach us there, will change you, how you are.
And so now that you're, you where were you at the time? Like when your boss reached out to you?
This is quite interesting because I did say that this is pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was so lucky. I mean, it's my home. I got stuck in Boracay Island.
No.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, gosh. I know. I'm not. Please don't sue me for that. But that was my reality.
Because I was in the Philippines after COVID. And there was a chance for me to go somewhere else. I think it might have been Boracay.
Yeah, Boracay.
What happened crazy? And I would have went there, saw you there. So you stuck there, yeah?
Yeah, I was stuck there for 8 months. So we're not allowed to go out. It was more like they have to keep down the sickness away from the capital, which is Manila. And we pretty much had like 300. Probably that's the most that we had on the occasions, 300 COVID cases. But it was so contained, really. But let me tell you, the life that we lived there was so beautiful. At some point, I had to stop posting in my story. Oh my gosh, sorry, guys.
Upsetting everybody.
No, because then again, no, it's no more like, what can I do? That's my home. Where I'm supposed to be. Because that's where my grandma lives. She has a house there. And I wanted to go back home to my mom, but I can't. Because then they cut off all land, sea transportation. You'll be stuck. But I feel like that's actually where the birth of me being a nomad.
Yeah.
It's still started. So it contacted you there, yeah?
We're narrowing it down now, guys. We got here.
Yeah. But like, this just like summarizing up, it's just having all these different experiences, right? And there's this new sort of idea now, and it makes so much sense, right? So you know how they talk about, don't be a jack of all trades, right? Be specialized. I don't play that game.
Yeah.
Right. It's more of knowing, being a generalist, but being so you understand everything and how they interconnect, and just being like laser focused on one thing. Although you have like a peripheral of everything.
But then if you could be good at the things that you want to do all at the same time, that's talent, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just joking, but
I'm trying to remember where you said that jack of all trades, master of none, but it's actually they actually cut it off. There's actually more to that.
Is there?
Yeah, man. I'll just put that out there. It's playing in my head that one, but it's kind of what you're saying. Anyway.
I feel like it really differs as well with people's experience, or I mean how you are as a person, because then people can focus on one thing and make it so big.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. Like for them to put one idea and make it into something. Wow. Like amazing. So I do understand what were you saying, rather than, because then it's energy as well. You can't put so much energy into things and try to grow it at the same time. Yeah. It would deplete you because you're your own source. Like those things that your idea or things that you want to create, they're feeding it through your energy, and it requires your attention all the time.
Well, my mentors, I've always jumped to so many different ideas and all that stuff. They always used to say, focus on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
They're right. Yeah, I think there's like different layers.
They are right in one way, but then with me, if I would have thought of one thing, that one thing might have took me, maybe not to actually the place I actually want. I'm quite happy where I am now.
Yeah.
And it's my thought pattern that got me here. Where if I would have stuck to one thing, there's like a lot of people I know who left university and they stick to this one thing and then they're working and you think, this is not me. You know? So, no, there's two sides to that.
And so, now that you're working your first remote job, what was it like working remotely, I guess? And maybe even like, you've taken that on, and maybe even like why you're here. I guess you're living in a paradise and you're here now, yeah?
See paradise.
Yeah.
No. I feel like, let me just say this. Bali is such a special place just because it became a part of a significant growth and realization for me. And honestly, going back to the pageantry, I was actually doing my training here before actually going back to the Philippines to do the pageantry. So it's really part of a lot of things to me. And not even to say that actually I'm a writer as well. So I do a lot of, I think Simon knows that, like doing a lot of poetry. I'm finishing a book, not promoting it, just said it's not finished, but it's a year-long book that I'm finishing. But what I'm trying to say about Bali is because Bali for me, and the reason why I'm here is because it created a person in me, a mega woman that I didn't know that it's in me. I never thought that I can become a writer even. And that birth of a writer came here as well in Bali. When I was just sitting, I was sitting in a really, really beautiful, well, not my favorite restaurant in Batu Bolong. And that's how it just like clicked at me. I'm like, wow, what is going on here? But incorporating everything that, like being a nomad, I feel like it's the lifestyle here, the people that you connect, the beautiful mind and the shared experiences is what really fuels you to not only connect, but grow as a group as well. I mean, it's nice though, because then you're constantly growing and
you always want to be around the same type of energy as well.
Yeah.
Is that, being back home in England, that energy wasn't for me. And if I stayed in that energy, I wouldn't have got to where I got to. It's just sometimes you got to take that leap of faith to step out of your comfort zone
I feel like
to make magic happen.
Yeah, for sure.
You so for a lot of people, sometimes there's a bit of fear or a little bit of doubt, coming and just leaving. Did you have anything like that, or you're super confident in what you do?
Yeah.
So, do we cover that? When did you make that jump? So you was in England, and then where did you go from there? Because I'm trying to figure out where was the jump? Where was that thing where you say that,
When I was working for Citibank.
Okay.
And
you had enough of the rat race.
I had enough of that corporate lives. I mean, to be honest, no offense, really great paying job. Like, oh my gosh. And bear in mind, through that job as well with Citibank, I actually signed with JP Morgan. But listen, this is where the birth of the digital nomad came in. So I got that actually signed already. I finished, I remember, you might have to roll these tapes, but I got a call and I was in Germany with my ex at that point. I got interviewed for JP Morgan in a hotel in Dresden in Germany. I remember that so well. And it was for cybersecurity and with JP Morgan, and I signed with them, gone through series of different interviews. Crazy. But now this is where the 9 to 5 thing come in. They're offering me a really good salary. And essentially cybersecurity or any type of fraud, anything like that, you can do it essentially for remote. You can do it remote.
Anyway, yeah.
Easy, because it's a software, it's install, all that stuff. You're not going to go into technicalities, but you can do that. So that's what, in my head, the position entails. And when I was about to sign, changed it. Because then they figured that I will be really good in JP Morgan NA, which is in New York office, which is amazing, by the way. I mean, like, geez, I will be the Carrie Bradshaw thing going on. A girl from Philippines, England, be like in New York, living the life in finance, like amazing. But then again, I feel like, well, I was speaking to the person with me in the past. He's like, it's a really good thing for your resume. And I didn't see it that way. It's like, it's not always about what's good in a resume. It also something has to be good for yourself, what you feel natural for you.
Is it would it be like more like a corporate?
It is a corporate. So yeah, it is. They want me to go to the office, 9 to 5. So I'm not against the corporate life. I think it's definitely not for me.
Yeah.
It might be for other people, no offense. But I feel like there's more to life than actually sitting in that.
Yeah, and so at that point, when they had changed it from remote to, you know, in office, right, on the contract before you signed, right, definitely knew it wasn't for you. Like, that's a big courage. You've got tons of money, like, you know, and 10 years set in front of you, let's say. I mean, like, what's the, you know, what was, you know, you didn't sign it, but like, what was going through your head and what were your other options?
Oh my gosh. At that point, I actually only had, bless him. So when we find out that I got the job, he bought a champagne to celebrate, a pink Moet as well. I'm like, oh God, this is a lot. Bless him. It was so nice. And it was so happy for me because then, my God, I mean, I have Citibank and now I have JP Morgan in my resume. I mean, geez, like four biggest financial firm in the world. I mean, that's amazing. But I felt like, it's not me because I don't want to be tied into a 9-to-5 job because I don't know. I don't want them to suck the energy out of me because I know how corporate lifestyle is. And as much as they will pay you a large amount of money, they would suck the life out of
You sacrifice a lot of your life there.
And I just feel like there's more to life than that. And I didn't have any option. I was zero. I mean, I remember I had, oh my God, I think I had 1,000 quid in my bank.
Oh, yeah.
My boyfriend was like, it's okay, I can take care of that.
Yeah.
But I was very transparent, and I didn't care because for me, money, you could always make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a measurement because some people, or with all respect, that's how they measure success, but it's not for me. It's more of like achievement and contentment, and I could be sitting in that 6-figure if I didn't want to, and had a choice in the palm of my hand. I signed the contract. But because they want to make the move in New York, and I have also my relation at that time to put on board as well, because he lives in Germany at that time. Yeah, it's not where my heart is, and that's when I went back to the Philippines because of pandemic, and I'm like, oh, I cannot be stuck in Germany.
Right, I see the timeline now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think everybody sees the timeline. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good that.
I went back to the Philippines, and then I got stuck in Boracay because the first thing in my head that Germany was beautiful in summer, but like it's too cold, so that as an island girl, I'm gonna go back to where I was made of Boracay, and that's when boom, they shut all the
Everything down, yeah.
borders and everything, and that's how the birth of the
Yeah, but it was from, you know, the only way he could have landed it or for somebody else is your experiences and just being online here. Any chance you knew what your boss was searching for? Because it was quite strange unless...
It was really strange, but I feel like he was very impressed of I'm very personable. I feel like he's invited me for just a quick phone call, actually. It's like, I think he was more of like discovery call for him.
Yeah.
If he would resonate with me and how I come across. And he was like, he really liked that I'm very enthusiastic. I think it's more of like man willing to learn.
Yeah.
What really drove them to actually hire me, because it's like, he can see that I'm brilliant. Like I've had so many different experiences and I have so much growth. And what if he could actually make me into something as well?
Yeah.
Help me in my career. And that's how it all started with me and my boss.
Yeah. And so with all those, I keep coming back, with all those experiences that you do have, you're growing as a person, you're evolving, right? When you come to Bali, like, you know, what else? Like, you know, what now? And maybe even like, you know, where do you know, because I think everyone's growing, you know, partly why we're doing this podcast as well. Look, we're probably terrible behind the camera. right? But it's learning, but just doing it and making those mistakes. Like for you, you know, what's your direction? You know, obviously, you know, maybe not solid, but
I always like to speak my truth with people because I have no mask. Like I am, boom, like right here, right now. Like I say how it is. So I think I definitely see myself like going back in Boracay because I feel like home is where the heart is, and that's where I feel the most comfortable with. But definitely for me, Bali is Bali. This is where dreams are made of, and this is where I became the woman that I am now. But honestly, I was looking at this with my friend. My friend actually at the company office. He was one of the biggest developer guys here in Bali. But I actually want to not. I want to build like a local home, to be honest, because I actually found a Balinese mother here in Bali, and she's teaching me a lot of the local ways, how we should always respect the culture and tradition, and really what entails to be in Bali. But ultimately, if you're gonna ask me what my real plan is, I feel like I want to find my partner. Really, I feel like I'm ready for it because I've been single for like years now, and not because I can't find anybody. I just more of like putting all that energy and things from my growth.
Ready for that chapter.
Yeah. I feel like.
yeah. So anybody that's watching, we'll put our Instagram down the bottom.
You know where to find her.
It's not available.
Is it single and ready to mingle?
And you know what? Are you you know, you're attractive girl, you're Miss Philippines. Are you surprised you're single?
I don't know what. Why? I'm so hard to find a quality.
Yeah, let's maybe get into that.
Well, yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
What is your quality?
Oh gosh, I'm not gonna speak for all women, yeah.
Yeah.
But as women, I think what we're looking for is just your communication.
Should be very safe here.
No, I feel like for me, what I like in a partner or a guy, if I meet someone, is more of their consistency. Because then, in a way, if he's being consistent, I would know that he's pursuing me.
Really?
He's showing up. The words are matching the actions, to be honest. And I feel like, I mean, Bali is full of very attractive people. Don't get me wrong, and everyone is quality. I'd say some, but like you have this diverse mix of culture, country, like upbringing.
Attitude.
So in that sense, it's not difficult to. But the question is not difficult to actually go on a date or meet someone.
That's easy, yeah. But is that fact? I mean, I've been single for a long time.
Guys, I'll leave that link down here as well.
Give it a click, yeah. Yeah, no, it's just trying to find that person that you connect with. It's not my friends like, man, you're in Bali, so many beautiful women. I'm like, just look, you know, obviously I like a bit of beauty, but there's more than beauty. There's many levels, but yeah.
It's one thing to be attracted to your person, but I feel like beauty does fade, really. And
Yes.
I think a big thing to me is personality. Right?
I think it's a massive one, yeah. 'Cause like you said, I mean, a lot of people say, I don't go for the looks. I'm like, okay, if I had one eye, one ear, yeah, would you go for me if I had a personality? No. But like you say, yeah, beauty will always go. So there's a lot of guys in Bali running around and looking for these Russian women and all this stuff. And I'm like, for me, not all Russian women, yeah, but it's like, there's so many, to me, I see a lot of fakeness from me. So it's not, you know, and it's like, you know, all you got is beauty. One day you're gonna get old, yeah. What else can you entertain me on? Like, you know,
You gotta have substance.
yeah, you gotta have. It's got, yeah. So yeah, that's my problem. Let's go.
Yeah, we've gone we've gone off a little bit off track. My fault, but yeah, it was just but I
They
guess
just wanted to see if he was like,
because I'm single and I'll leave my link down here. Yeah, we'll see how it comes out. But yeah, just going back, I guess like you know, for the people that are watching or listening, right?
Yeah.
that you don't want to actually possibly pursue, you know, this life in Bali? Do you have any sort of words or, you know, yeah, like
Bali, I think
not Bali,
it's
but
like
in general.
so many people, so you know, sitting at home, we're like, you know, they look at you, they might look at me, they might look at they think, I love to live the life that you lot are living. But then it's like, you know, what I always say, what's stopping them? So it's like, you know, would there be any advice you could say to someone who's thinking about, you know, leaving the rat race or leaving their life or whatever it is?
100%. I feel like when people start doubting themselves, that's when they stop growing.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like it's not about you versus them. It's about you versus you. Your greatest enemy is yourself. Like, I remember when I was training for the pageant, you should actually, it's a battle within you, really. And once you overcome that, like, you defeated your own self-thought, because there's limiting beliefs. And I mean, it's normal. You're human. You're susceptible to this type of feelings and stuff. Like, did they actually do it? But really, the fact that you're questioning yourself, that means that you actually can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of execution. Like, for example, people can see my life in my stories or, like, you know, my social media, and they were like, wow, you're really living your life. And some even bold ones or gold ones, like, do you have like a
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And one of the, I guess, like, this is like the biggest, I haven't said it in the podcast before, but I do want to bring it up, is, you know, I've been out here for almost 2 years now, right? And I don't post a lot on Instagram, but when I do, I can see the same people sort of watching, and I have this gut feeling, and this is what's inspired the podcast, is to give them a little window and insight into, you know, what this life sort of entails. Because you can get Instagrammable sunsets and whatnot, but how did you get there? Like, you know, what did you do?
It took? Yeah, what did it take?
What did you give up? You know, for me,
people that see that, it's like,
I feel like it's okay to be selfish, and at the end of the day, you definitely have to do it only for you. Like, if you're speaking about, like, what did I give up to actually do this life? Because then I could be living the life here in Bali and seeing my mom grow older. You're sacrificing a lot with your time and everything. Friends, you don't see them that often. But how I got here is because I wanted to grow. I am a very ambitious woman, and growth is very substantial in my personal life and ultimately my inner growth, you know? And I feel like when you doubt yourself, you can't do it.
Should be doing it.
Yeah. And I understand that there's the part that you have to really grow and, like, do a lot of experiences and experiment a lot. But what if you do that in a place
happy and comfortable?
Because Bali is a super safe place for that. Yeah.
you have people?
Language.
But it's nice that there's, like, that compliment that would also contribute to your growth. And that, you know, because for me, I like to be the dumbest in the room. I like to interview people. I like to ask people. And honestly, if I cannot be in their level, I would compete with them. But I would ask for their advice. And I would always talk to a rich man, like, how did you got this? Yeah. And to be a girl was asking that in an event, it's really quite like, whoa, why are you asking me this? But I love it, because then again, that's how you get the knowledge, and that knowledge you can use that for your own growth. I mean, regardless what type of knowledge is that, that still contributes to you as a person.
Yeah, it's very interesting because you know, like you say, you got an Indonesian mum, you're learning from the Balinese culture, right? You're asking these, you know, rich people on how they got there. You know, you involve yourself in so many things. That's it. Yeah, so, I mean, like, you know, everything has a part and contributes, right? So somebody that's, I guess, you know, on the other side of this camera or listening, like, maybe they're an introvert or maybe they're an extrovert. Are there any skills for any of them to, You know, because there was a podcast, Nick's podcast. He was he you know, he's from a small little town in Slovenia, right?
And he used to wash cars.
He just washed cars for free. Put his hand up
because he likes sport cars. He
likes
very,
sports
very
cars.
nice sport cars.
and then he's
And then
met
got to know-
millionaires,
yeah, millionaires.
and then he's
Spoke with them, made friends, and
did the same thing, exactly what you did, and got advice from people that were super successful, and then he's
he ran with it.
run with them.
No. I didn't actually did it in a podcast like that. It's easy, right? To do that, no. No, because it comes to me naturally.
Yeah.
I like talking to people with their experiences, you know.
Mm.
And also, I understand that, you know, sometimes people are shy, this, that. But because for me, I've gained that confidence through my own downfall. I've definitely worked on myself to get myself to where I am. Like I walked in a room or walk in front of someone, not butting in, but like in a portrait chat. I'm very curious. Or like I go and actually I did it last night.
Yeah.
There's a guy, he's so attractive. I just like, sorry, I know you're with your friends, but I just want to say to you, actually, my time.
Thank you. Yeah.
So shocked. But that's what I mean. There's so much power in your confidence, and just even if you don't believe it, even if you're introvert or not, you just have to really believe it and tell yourself grace that if they can do it, why I can't. We're all in the same species. We're actually humans. No one is like above than each other. It's just all a different journey, and yeah, that's.
What for people who's watching? What is your day to day? I mean, what is your day like? So that, you know, because people look at Bali and I don't know what they'd be thinking what we do daily. Like, but what's your day? What does your day look like?
So I am
From waking up? Yeah.
I'm a morning person. I love morning breeze, I'd say, because when I was going through a transition in my life, like, you know, my fitness journey, everything, what worked for me the most is wake up at 6, and then I start journaling. I think journaling is very powerful to not only put things in your thoughts, but if you have insecurities or anything that's bothering you, it's so powerful to actually write.
I think it's good to get it out of your head, because when it's in your head, it's in your head, but when you bring it out, you bring it out.
Yeah, for sure. So I do journaling and listen to classical music while I do that.
Oh, you like my dad.
Ev.
My dad plays classical music. I'm like, what, Dad?
I think, yeah. And then I will go to, I think balance is key. So I go to gym and then just release some serotonin. So like, I think for me, fitness has also became a very big part of my growth, and I became more confident. I can show up more to who I am, and honestly, just being comfortable in my own body, and because I work hard for it, you know, I'm really happy.
And you'll be happy with it, yeah?
Yeah. And sometimes I do a lot of collaborate with some brands, because I'm also working as a model here. I'm signed to an agency. And by the way, that's one of my vision board.
Oh.
There we go.
And I looked at my vision board the other day, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? I keep checking it. And I had that positive I thought, I'm like, well, I actually did manifest everything into reality. And that's what I mean about mindset. Because even if you can't do it, that's why you have vision board. Just write it. Because one day you don't know, and it happened to me. And I'm really talking out genuinity. I'm just checking. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
That's the same thing I was saying before. It's like, it's in your head. When you write it, you bring it to life. And you know, I used to write a lot of my ideas, inventions, this, that. And going back in, I think 2018. So I must have wrote this in this. I got so many books that I write down stuff, and must have wrote it down ages ago. Anyway, we're getting ready to leave on this trip, my whole family. And I got one of my friends, Jonas, traveling with us for a couple of months. And Carl, I'm always talking about law of attraction kind of thing. And I was going through all my books. I said, oh, look, here's one of my books things. So I flicked it, must have opened up. What do I want before I'm 40? And part of it said, for my mum and dad to retire at 62 and travel the world. No, 63 it was. They were 62 at the time, and they both turned 63 as we were traveling, and they both just retired. And I was like, Oh my God. And that was like, you know, a couple of days before we were about to fly out and make this thing happen. So, there's so many things, so many times I've wrote stuff down and I'll go back. It's like even a charity thing that I've done in a couple of months. And I've got a screenshot of it still where you write in your notes, it says the date where you wrote it.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I want to help out, do charity, do this, that. It's like everything I said, I was doing it months later. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What it mean with the journal thing, because you don't know, you kind of program your head.
That's it. Yeah. Like, because you essentially all those items, when you put it down, it puts it in your subconscious, and your subconscious does a lot of, so you don't even know, like any hurdles or challenges that come, you actually don't make that decision. You've already made that decision a long time ago. Yeah.
Subconsciously, there is something that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Sometimes you have to just program your mind.
Yeah, reprogram it.
And honestly, my vision board was like signed with an international modeling agency, like live in Bali. We literally, and I'm like, get a fit and healthy mind and body, which is I have, and actually won the pageant.
Yeah, that's wild.
Look at that.
I had no experience whatsoever. It's my first ever crowing as well.
Is there anything you're shit at?
I'd say love for sure. I feel like
No.
good in life.
Yes, so in other words, you know, besides love, you're not shit at anything. Yeah, actually.
That's one thing I'm trying to manifest. What is the quality man in Bali? Please listen to the
Could be.
don't buff that. You need to hear.
We got to be about 6 foot.
6 4 5 in blue.
Blue eyes, I was going to think exactly the same thing. Yeah, we've got dark hair, island girl, that's hilarious.
That's okay too, but
That's not.
Yeah.
All right, so so we're gonna wrap this up soon, but I want to jump onto the charity thing because obviously I've done the thing in the Philippines and that. You know, is there anything that you want to say to people who's watching this with that? You got any
charity?
Yeah, with the charity stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about it. It's a little bit more.
Yes, I feel like regardless which stage you are in your life, it's not hard to give a helping hand to those people that it needs. And I'm not even talking about financial. That means your energy, presence. You just being there means so much for all these people already. And regardless if that's humanitarian or philanthropy work or environmental causes, I feel like the biggest currency there is your time, your energy. And don't be afraid to take up on that spaces because that's what makes us human at the end of the day.
Fantastic. And where can anybody that's watching or listening, where do they contact you at?
So my Instagram, I mainly utilize that with things that I'm doing with my philanthropy, humanitarian, poetry, so lifestyle. It's Belle Foxx, spelled as Belle BELEFOXX. Because I do like Megan Fox, but that's just a screen name. But yeah, Belle Foxx.
Excellent. I think that's it. Yeah. Is there anything else
Is there anything that you want to say to anything?
What is the quality man?
Oh, that's going to be the hook, literally the first second of the...
Hey, Queen's quality woman out here now. And I feel like, to me, don't ever stop believing in your dreams just because you can't. You can't now, you can't not next week or next month, but you will one day. And if you never stop letting go of it, it's going to happen to you.
It was.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And guys, anybody that's watching, just hit the subscribe button, or if you're listening, then just leave us a review. This is our first couple of episodes on the podcast, so really appreciate it. If you have got any feedback as well, just shoot it through.
Otherwise, if any good guys out there who can actually step up to the level here, he's waiting.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye bye.